Yes, my dear friends. Now that we are done with discussion about section 31, let's now go forward and discuss about another interesting topic, that is section 32 of this beautiful chapter called PGBP, Profits and Gains from Business or Profession. चलो बोलो बेटा क्या हो गया अभी तक? Section 28 chargeability section, section 29 computation mechanism, 30 expenses related to building, 31 repairs and insurance for plant, machinery and furniture. Now let's move forward to talk about the next interesting section, something very important, section 32, which deals with the beautiful concept of depreciation. And let me tell you, my dear friends, this concept is very important. और आप लोग ध्यान से सुनो, आपका जो अकाउंट्स का डेप्रिसिएशन कॉन्सेप्ट है, दैट इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट डेप्रिसिएशन अंडर इनकम टैक्स. Please understand that point very clearly, that the depreciation concept under accounts is totally different compared to depreciation concept under income tax. And under income tax, how will this depreciation concept work is what we'll understand very clearly now. See now. Now, let me tell you the first and foremost important point, my dear friends. That is, number one, under Income Tax Act, depreciation is computed based on block of asset. Wow, what a lovely word, my dear friends. What is that word? Block of asset. When we say that we will calculate depreciation on the basis of block of asset, when I say block of asset, imagine for example, there is one person, Mr. A. He is carrying on business. When he is carrying on business, my dear friends, imagine he has got two machines in his factory. Machine 1, machine 2. Under accounting system or accounting terminology, we will separately calculate depreciation for machine 1 and we will separately calculate depreciation for machine 2. That is what we see under accounting terminology, that will calculate depreciation separately for machine 1 and calculate depreciation separately for machine 2. But under Income Tax Act, the story is very much different, where they say, बेटा एक काम करो, आपको अलग अलग असेट का अलग अलग डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट करने का जरूरत नहीं है. यू प्लीज फॉलो द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ब्लॉक ऑफ असेट. व्हेन आई से ब्लॉक ऑफ असेट, व्हाट डज दैट मीन? दिस ब्लॉक ऑफ असेट टेक्निकली मीन्स सेम टाइप and also same rate are brought under one category. Come on friends, what is the language I wrote? Same type and same rate are brought under one category. When I say same type and same rate, आपको डाउट आएगा, सर जो सेम टाइप रहेगा ऑब्वियसली उसका रेट भी सेम रहेगा ना सर, ये क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? बेटा सुनो ध्यान से, clearly listen. What they told in the law is, for different assets, there is a different depreciation rate. Let's take an example. In case of building, for residential building, the rate of depreciation is 5%. But for commercial building, the rate of depreciation is 10%. So based on type of building, the depreciation rate will change. Now one more example, let me tell you. In case of plant and machinery, the depreciation rate is different based on different type of assets. So that is the reason why you have to understand that same type, same rate will bring under one category and call them as block of asset and then charge depreciation. And friends, हम सबको पता है what is the reason why we charge depreciation. What is the fundamental reason we charge depreciation? It is only because of wear and tear and loss of the asset. Correct, my dear friends? And I'll ask you one question. Tell me, my dear friends, why don't we charge depreciation on land? What is the reason for that? Please tell me. Now don't tell me, sir, land का रेट हमेशा अप्रिशिएट होता है इसलिए हम लोग depreciation चार्ज नहीं करते. ये बहुत बकवास आंसर है. That is not the reason why we don't charge depreciation on land. The fundamental reason why we charge depreciation is because of efflux of time. When I say efflux, that means passage of time. As the time pass by, the utility will come down. The utility what will be there at the beginning will not be there subsequently. So let's take an example, one AC you purchased. Initially when the AC is very new, the way it functions, and imagine after 5 years, scene cut, after 5 years if you see, will the AC work in the same manner? Answer is obviously no. The reason for that is very clear, that the way the AC was working 5 years back, it will not work in the same manner even after 5 years. That is because of passage of time. As the time passes by, utility will come down. That is the fundamental reason why we charge depreciation. And that is the fundamental reason why we don't charge depreciation in case of land. Because the utility of the land still remains the same even after passage of time. And that is the reason why we don't charge depreciation on land. And under Income Tax Act, we charge depreciation based on what, my dear friends? Block of asset. Block of asset means what? Same rate, same type. We bring under one category and accordingly charge depreciation. Come on friends, dosto bolo, what is block of asset? Same asset and same, that is same type and same rate. We bring under one category and charge depreciation. And also let me tell you, my dear friends, depreciation is to be calculated on the basis of WDV. That is nothing but written down value method. In your accounting, in your foundation, you would have heard different methods to calculate depreciation. Something like straight line method, WDV method, sum of digit method, whatever method you have seen. But income tax says, हमको सबसे लेना देना कुछ भी नहीं है, हमको सिर्फ एक ही मेथड से मतलब है, that is WDV, which stands for written down value method. And here under income tax, what they told is that since we are following the system of block of asset, that is same type and same rate, we are bringing under one category. Since we are following the system of block of asset, same type and same rate, what they told very clearly is that you follow some methodology to calculate depreciation. That is, first please check out what is your opening WDV. What is the opening value of written down value of that particular block. First time you purchased, there is no opening WDV at all. Obviously, my dear friends. So first we'll take figure of what? Opening WDV. Then to that opening WDV, we will add asset purchased. Asset whatever you have purchased. And then you will reduce. Obviously, beta, kya karenge beta? Bolo beta. Obviously, we will reduce asset sold. Opening कितना है? कितना खरीदा हमने और कितना बेच दिया हम? Opening WDV plus asset purchase minus asset sold. Balance what I get is known as closing WDV. In fact, that is the figure on which I calculate my depreciation. So let me tell you very clearly, my dear friends, on this, depreciation is charged. So very clearly, the concept is that depreciation is charged on the closing WDV. Now some special point let me tell you, which is extremely important. So dhyan se suno. Listen. Depreciation can be claimed only if two conditions are satisfied. Wow, lovely point. Listen very clearly. Come on, my dear friends. Depreciation can be claimed only if two conditions are satisfied. Number one, closing WDV must be positive. Very logical, common sense, my dear friends. Because if closing WDV is not positive, on what figure will you calculate depreciation? So what is the first condition? Closing WDV must be positive. Number two, there must be at least one asset in the block. I repeat again, there must be at least what, sir? One asset in the block. So there are two important conditions to be satisfied in order to claim depreciation. Number one, closing WDV must be positive. Number two, there must be at least one asset in the block. If any condition is not satisfied, what, my dear friends? If any condition is not satisfied or both the conditions are not satisfied, then there is no question of claiming depreciation. Friends, come on, dosto, come on, suno, my dear friends, dhyan se. We are talking about which section? We are talking about section 32. What is section 28, by the way? Section 28 is chargeability section. 29, computation. 30 expenses related to building, 31 repairs and insurance for plant, machinery and furniture, and 32 is what, my dear friends? Depreciation. That is what we are discussing. And under Income Tax Act, depreciation is not charged on asset by asset, but it is charged based on block of asset. And what is block of asset? Same type, same rate is brought under one category, and then depreciation is charged. And that too, under Income Tax Act, depreciation is calculated on the basis of block of asset. And moreover, what is the computation mechanism? We will start with opening WDV. We'll add what? Asset purchased less what? Closing WDV. Balance what we get is, in fact, less what? Asset sold. So friends, I'll repeat again. What do we start with? Opening WDV, add asset purchase less asset sold, balance what we get? Closing WDV. On the closing WDV, we'll charge depreciation. So please keep in mind that depreciation is always calculated on the closing WDV. And depreciation is allowed only and only when two conditions are satisfied. What are two conditions? Number one, closing WDV must be positive. Closing WDV must be positive. Number two, there must be at least one asset in the block. If any condition is not satisfied, or both the conditions are not satisfied, then depreciation is not allowed. Then some special story will come, that is a concept of capital gain or loss, which we'll discuss in detail separately. But in general, under income tax law, depreciation is calculated only on the basis of block of asset. And what is the methodology to calculate? Opening WDV, add asset purchase less asset sold, balance is closing WDV. On the closing WDV, depreciation can be charged only when two conditions are satisfied. Number one, closing WDV must be positive and there must be at least one asset in the block. Come on, next.